I want to share something that happened that didn't feel too good, but it taught me something really important. I came home from work the other day and I was exhausted, completely wiped. And I sat down at the island and next to my son, who's 6 years old, and wife was kind of doing her thing. Other kids were doing their thing. Everyone was kind of doing their thing in their own world. Mind you, I'm exhausted. I sit down and just out of the blue, randomly, my 6-year-old decides to call me by my first name, my birth name. And I immediately kind of got weirded out and was like, no. So I started correcting him, and I don't know why I was doing this. It was so weird, but I was like trying to explain to him like, oh yeah, that's the beauty of life. You can be whoever you want. If you want to be George, you can be George. And immediately my wife freaking intervened and was like, what are you doing? Why are you telling him that? What's wrong with you? And then I freaking snapped back and got triggered and started, our voices got heightened, energy was heightened. And the kids were like, what is going on right now? Like, so she walked away. I walked away and, I went into my hiding spot in the house, my hole, which is my office. And, yeah, it was horrible. I felt horrible. I did not feel aligned. And yeah, so what I realized after reflecting later is my reaction, it had nothing to do with my son or anything like that. It was because of the name. And I realized the name is my father's name, my birth father. And this is why I didn't want to be associated with it, because he was a good person, but he was not a present father. He abandoned us. And deep down inside, he was hurting. And he, for whatever reason, chose his desires over his responsibilities. And for that reason, growing up, I guess it just got harder. The older I got, it got harder. The more shame. I felt rejected. Like, what was wrong with me? And I blamed myself. Like, what the frick, man? Like, what did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong? And I had this disconnection tied to that name. So my whole life, I wanted to change my name. I actually did, but it never stuck. In middle school, it was Michael. And that's my middle name. It's Paul Michael. And it just never stuck. When I got a job working at the first big salon, major salon that I've ever worked for, I took that opportunity to change it because they asked me, what do you want to be called by? Changing my name, it wasn't just branding. It was survival and rebirth. I was shifting my identity, at least so I thought. I spoke from my wounds, not my wisdom. And in that moment, I forgot who I was speaking to. I forgot I was speaking to a 6-year-old, not my inner child. What I realize now is that growth, it doesn't mean you're fully healed. I'm not sharing this because I have it all figured out, because I don't. I'm sharing this because healing is ongoing. And sometimes the work, it just shows up right at your dinner table.